Welcome to the Her Voice Shines podcast, where we celebrate the power, brilliance, and resilience of women everywhere. I'm your host, Shanasia Washington. Join us as we share inspiring stories and insights from extraordinary women who have found their voice and are making a difference. Together, we'll create a ripple effect, illuminating the path to visibility and empowerment. Let's break barriers, shatter ceilings, and lift each other up. In each episode, we dive deep into the journeys of women who have turned their challenges into triumphs and their dreams into reality. Whether you're looking for motivation, guidance, or a community that understands your journey, you're in the right place. Stay tuned and remember, let your voice shine. Well, it's no secret, I'm biased. This is one of the best podcasts on the planet. It's the Her Voice Shines podcast. I'm your fabulous host, Shanasia Washington, streaming from no other than the hot and steamy Houston, Texas. And, I love this show because we bring the real stories, unfiltered. I'm not going to tell my guest business, but she said, I want to tell my story. Is it too negative? I said, we don't do negative around here. We do real life and real stories, and we talk through it. But she's backstage. You know the drill. She comes to the stage, tells us her name, where she's streaming from, and guess what we get? That wonderful story. And here she is.
Hello, everyone. I am Tami Anne Strochak, the creator of Ageless Soul Tribe. I'm coming from Lake Huntington, New York, originally from Jersey. So my story is I'm here to help ageless women because back in the day, we did not have the modalities that we have now to help heal. In my 50s, I had a nervous breakdown due to my unhealed traumas. I didn't even look like I do now. I was an eating disorder survivor from 11 into my 40s. I couldn't shake it. And then I drank along with it, which is normal. That's what happens with eating disordered people. We use alcohol. When the eating disorder left, I kept the drinking and I couldn't shake it. When I finally shook it and I was clear, I was able to start getting productive. I was able to start realizing I want to create Ageless. I want to help other women to never have to go through what I went through in my 50s. I am a neuroscience coach along with a naturopathic coach, and I help you with everything. Wellness, mindset, body image. It's a big one. Once we age, we can't accept what our bodies look like now. We need to accept it. We need to give ourselves love. That's what I'm here for, to help give you love and the support that you need, and to not have the self-depreciating behaviors if you are a victim of former abuse like I was. And I did not know how to love myself. I didn't know. I took on self-hatred behaviors, the eating disorder, the alcoholism. It was all a self-hatred behavior. And I want to help other women to shine. And I started to heal myself alone. Nobody helped me. I did not know how to heal. I started using the energies. God gave me the messages to help heal other women. And to heal, I became a Reiki healer. A lot of women who have suffered trauma become coaches to help other women. So that's what I started with. I was given the message, stop suffering. God and the universe does not want you to suffer. You are supposed to shine. And I was told, take the energy, put it through your hands to heal. Use the energy that you have to heal. It is so amazing what one can do with the energies turned correctly into your life, with your mind, your body, and your soul. You do not have to suffer. Also, I want to stop the ageism that we see in society. We are ageless. That is what I created. That is my coaching. We redefine what it means to age. We are not young. We are not old. We are the tweeners. And we have wealth of knowledge at this age and stage of our life. And we can shine together. I am creating a movement of ageless women, and I am the movement. I am so sick of what society wants us to be and look like at this age and stage. So I'm bringing together women together. I'm also, with my coaching, tailor-made to you, what you need. And again, I also do nutrition because I'm a naturopathic coach. I just got my degree yesterday. I'm so excited to bring this to you with oils, with nature, with there's so much we can do. Again, with energy, and the energies in the quantum field. You can see and feel the energies. So I bring that in and I help you to heal, and I help you to get the desired results because I did it for myself. It took me years to learn how to change and to do what I needed to do. And remember, you do not have to have the unhealed traumas inside of you. We can work upon getting you happy, healthy, and whole again. It was looked down upon years ago to see somebody, to see a psychiatrist. We hid what was bothering us. We hid, our traumas. And I was raised by a mentally ill man who my childhood was being a caretaker and getting him in and out of the mental hospitals and shock treatments, and watching him not take his meds and watching him. He was great, and then he was crazy. So I learned to care about others more than myself. And I learned to become a caretaker. And it was such a painful childhood that I turned it all upon myself negatively. And now I learned to turn it positively outward. And you can do that as well. I can help you do that in any areas that you need.
Now, Miss Tammy, let me tell you, you don't look like what you've been through. So that
Oh my
right now,
goodness.
look, that right there is a whole blessing within itself, because you're telling me this backstory about oh, the eating disorder, oh, the alcoholism, oh, I was raised by somebody that was mentally ill, and you standing here looking like a blessing from heaven. So
If you
that right
saw
there,
me,
go
if
ahead.
you saw me 4 years ago, I have the proof is in the pudding. I don't look like this. I started to regenerate
Mm-hmm.
as I got healthy and gave myself love. I didn't know how to do it, but I didn't look like this. I had a wig. My hair was broken off.
Mm-hmm.
I had my eyes. When I see the pictures of me, I want to cry. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just happy that you can look back at that in such a short amount of time and know your growth. But in that, you were talking about, the eating disorder, and you were talking about the alcoholism and all of these things. But then you got to a point to where you said, okay, now I'm self-helping. I'm self-helping. I'm getting all these deposits. Now, when that shift came to say, I'm self-helping, and you talked about many people who have gone through their own troubles, they go into coaching. That shift for you, when did you start to branch out and say, this is good, but then I'm also too going to go tap another person by the hand and do it? How did that shift kind of occur? Because a lot of times people, they go through these things, they don't know how to put that back into the earth to keep it be a ripple effect. How did you make that shift into, now I'm this coach and now I can help you?
I am going to be honest. I got a message from God. I know people don't want to turn, and I was never religious, never. And I got this message when I was running, and it said, stop suffering. Take all that energy that you've turned upon yourself, all that negativity inside, turn it outwards. Have it come out of your hands to heal. Turn it outwards into your brain to heal. I just got that very powerful message, and I just ran with it from there. And that's what I did.
Miss Tim, I had already heard you say that, right? I had already heard you say in the first segment you got a deposit for God. That was an intentional playback, an intentional drop here, because I love that you called that out as what it is, because some people will call that other things, but I too have literally received deposits from God, and I have come to share them.
I
Right.
have like
So for
chills.
you to say that, I heard you say it the first time. I heard you said it in the introduction, but that was an intentional playback for you to say it again out of your mouth, so that my viewers understand that Miss Tami is saying that that was a miraculous act, that she didn't even know anything about going to heal, but here she is and healed herself and have received deposits to help other people. So that's why I want to let people know it's so important to be in alignment and do the things that you are called to do.
Yes. Yes.
That's what I really wanted to say in there. Now, I want to talk more about your practice of helping, because I know there's some Reiki in there. There's some neuroscience. By the way, I love neuroscience. I watch all kinds of neuroscience documentaries. I'm just really a nerd at heart. But I want you to talk about your services. Is this like can we book a couple coaching sessions? Do you have like a 12-month program? Or how does it work? And just kind of give us, we don't want you to give us all the gold, because these are services that you provide, but just give us a high arching goal of how that looks when they're working with you.
Okay. So my services are geared to what tailor-made to what you need. I'm unique. I'm a little different. I don't just have a pat way of doing things. The neuroscience, you use the energy. I got obsessed with the brain when I started to heal, and I studied neuroscience. Like you said, you're a nerd. And I learned that we can relearn and retrain ourselves with our brain's neuroplasticity. We can do anything. It's amazing. So you just go to my website and you book a call with me, and we go from there. But I use the neuroscience to go to the quantum field of energy, pull it in. We can do meditations. We can do naturopathy. We can do whatever you need to do. I do body image is a big one for me, and for women, wellness, menopause. So you book a call with me, and then we tailor make your coaching. You answer some questions, and we go from there. So that is what I do. And also, any area you need, if you need a tailor-made, I'm really good. I do meditations tailor-made for you. I have a 10-minute guided meditation you can see. You can join my group on Facebook, Ageless Soul Tribe. Every day I put something out positive for you in the field. So coaching is something I love to do. I love to help, and I love to bring your energies, because it's miraculous what we can achieve together with your energies directed the correct way. It's amazing, and I love it. So yes, that's what I do. Mm-hmm.
I love it too. I love what you're doing, and it stuck out a couple times. You talk about ageless, because we're in this society where social media and everyone has to look, without a wrinkle in sight, and without a dent and dimple here. And I'm just fortunate enough to know that I am so grateful for the stage of life I am, because people are leaving here all ages. I don't have time to be worried about if it's wrinkled in a beard. I'm just honestly happy to be here and to stand in myself and be authentic. So with you saying that, I hope that people get that message. She said we ageless. It's not really even about the number. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that's very, very powerful for me. And I talk about this often with my friend circle and things of that nature. And I do have a certain subset of friends who are very vain, and all they think about, Miss Tami, is you know what some of those women think about for life. And I try so much to shift knowledge and perspective that it's more to life than that and all that vain stuff and looking a certain part, but really, really doing that inner work that gets you closer to earth. I want to talk about this because we hinged on it just a little bit. We were talking a little bit about imposter syndrome, because it's kind of a buzzword now, Miss Tami.
Yes.
And imposter syndrome. And I too have battled with it. I've battled with it a lot in my corporate career. And I didn't really fully get a handle on it until I left and made a change for myself. Because even though I said, I don't think I have that or whatever, it would be clear signs that some of that was trying to creep in. Are you sure you're the person for this project? Or you don't really have the expertise. You don't really have the expertise to really do that. Or man, that person has all these other extra credentials and they probably could do it because they know X, Y, and Z. So those are actual thoughts that will go through my mind at times of doing that. And I know you probably encounter many women specifically because it's heavy on the woman's side that go through that. I want you to talk us through maybe a top one or two things that women can do to start nipping that imposter syndrome in the bud because it is running rampant.
Oh, is it? Well, yeah. I had it too as well. I had my own podcast called Ageless, and I had never podcasted before. So I had all these professional guests on and talk about imposter syndrome. I would see these professional women like in these poses for their podcast, like sitting on a chair, legs crossed, microphone. And I'd be coming just like this, and I would think, oh my God, I'm so unprofessional. Or, I had that really imposter syndrome feeling. So what you need to do is fake it until you make it. And you need also to talk to yourself positively out of it. When you get the idea of that, oh my goodness, I'm not good enough, you have to say, I am just as good. I am good enough. I'm better than good enough for myself. You are good enough. When the thoughts creep in, what you need to do is recognize, because the brain wants negativity. It loves it. So you have to realize you're having this thought. Your brain is purposely doing that to you, and it did that to you. So you have to say, I'm getting this negative thought. Then you say, thank you. Thank you. Give yourself love. Put your hands on your heart and really thank yourself for recognizing that negative thought and change it. That's what you have to do. And if you change it enough, the thought will go away and you will start stepping into your power. And the imposter syndrome will start to get smaller and smaller until the negative thoughts, you've conditioned yourself to stop the negative thoughts and replace them. It sounds so easy, but it's not, because our brains want to do the familiar. The familiar is, I'm not good enough as that person. That person looks like that. So, oh my God, I don't look like that. That, stop right there. I am good enough. I am good enough, and I am the creator of my destiny. Also, from doing the podcast, I would get such positive feedback from coaches, from psychiatrists. They'd be like, you're so well informed. And I've been through so much in my life that I could tell you what they were going to say before they said it on my podcast. So I no longer podcast. I branched into coaching and et cetera. But my imposter syndrome made me miserable before a podcast until I stopped myself and started, you have to relax. You have to stop the thoughts and realize you are the person that you want to be.
Okay, Miss Tam, a couple things from this segment. The first thing is that unfamiliar, right? You really kind of do want to just kind of stay away from that, because the familiar is just so natural. The unfamiliar takes change. The unfamiliar takes courage. Sometimes it takes unlearning. Sometimes it takes sacrifice. And we as people don't always want to do that. So that whole thing of knowing that that's what your brain wants to do, it's important for people like Miss Tammy to tell you that, because you're trying to figure out, why do I keep falling to the same old habits? Because your body is just saying, just naturally, it wants the familiar.
Yes.
That's exactly what's happening.
It loves it.
Yeah. The other part of the segment is that I found the same too during this podcast. And I've gotten through quite a few bunch of episodes. So I didn't start recording until August of last year. And I've interviewed a wide range of people, actresses and heads of clinical departments, and we've had a physicist on here one time. We are going to view a former beauty pageant queen. And it's so interesting to find that those imposter syndrome traits are in them. And the everyday woman is looking at them like, oh my God, this is the person that has an important title and they're doing all these things. But when they hear that these women battle those same things, it's kind of like, it is something that's a widespread thing. That's why I tell people to talk about it. The second thing, Miss Tami, I don't know why you got out the podcasting, because you're natural. I mean, maybe it just didn't fit the model and the mode. I mean, I get that, like, businesses and brands change. Obviously, this was not a part of my brand at first, and it changed into this. But you need to be talking to people. I mean, I know you do it with coaching. But you need to be talking to people on a more regular basis and having these kind of very relaxed type conversations, because that's a skill set for you. I'm talking to you, and there's not a whole bunch of, it's not like a lot of extra stuff going on. Sometimes when I talk to guests, I'm like, yeah, okay. It's like no disrespect to them, or I'm always very respectful, but I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yes, flat. It goes flat.
And I just go with it, and it remain in integrity and all those, but it's not that with you. So I don't know if time permits or what that looks like for you, but you should very well be talking to people on a more regular basis, even if you're not coaching them, because that's your gift.
Thank you.
No, it is. I mean, when she said, because I'm like, because I had to ask her, because I kept hearing podcasts. I'm like, is that like past tense, or is it kind of still going?
No,
it's beautiful. It speaks the language that many women need to hear. And you don't do it with no fluff. You do it from self-work. This is why this podcast works for me. I mean, people are like, how are you recording on? I was like, because it's not really work. If I would have met Miss Tami at the park, me and Miss Tim would be having the same conversation. Because it's the self-work I've done. It's just a conversation for me. It's not this big thing. And you have done that work, and it comes from such a pure place that you should just be talking to people.
Okay, I will take that advice. I hear you. I receive it.
Normally I try to wait to the end. I'll say, okay, now I'll try to tap them on the shoulder, but when we start recording, say, now look, but no, I'm gonna tell you that publicly, because you have a knack and a presence about you.
Oh, thank you.
That that you can facilitate a conversation that's not a whole bunch of fluff. We got enough fluff in the world of politics. The world, it's enough of that. And it's time out for that. And people just need to get to the meat of the conversation and have it.
Yes.
So I'm just telling you that, and I'm not going to, I don't continue to harp and preach and all this stuff. I'm just telling you, Miss Henry, I got to just do it how I know how to do it. And that's it. So, I mean, and we're talking, this is a good segue into this, because we're talking about this, but what do you envision is next for your process, and what are you doing to build this thing, build this coaching, and really reach who you want to reach? What's that next for you, Miss Tami?
I'm not sure. I just started. So building would be building a clientele of women. I also created an app. It's called Ageless. I did it last February. I'm still working on it. It came from ageism. I was on Instagram. I was trying to build a following, and women my age, I know there's very successful women my age, but it was beautiful 30-year-old women, and they were getting hundreds of followers. I would follow them, do the algorithm. People are trying to tell me it was algorithm. I posted, I followed, I spent a lot of time. Then I saw a company with a blue flower that had thousands of followers. So I posted as a blue flower, and I got hundreds of likes that day. I said, you know what? I am creating an app for the ageless woman. It's still being created. It's a very slow process. So that's one thing in the future. The app will probably be attached to my website, Ageless. I'm so excited about the app. And I know nothing about social media. I'm not great at it, or apps, but I learned about the front end, the back end, et cetera, et cetera. And a head of a company, a president, I didn't go with the US because the coding in the US for an app's too much. I went with another country, and the president of a very famous company texted me and said, Tami, I was with a friend who took pictures of herself and said she was ageless. He said, if you don't go with my company, do it. It's a great idea, and gave me a thumbs up. And I cried. I really cried. I was just starting. I was just coming from all the prior past trauma, and it meant so much to me. So my coaching I see in the future is building a coaching business, helping other women. How do I get it out there? Going on podcasts, starting to podcast again, like you said, and building a presence on Facebook, Instagram, and also in my community, doing things of that nature as well. So yes, that's how I see myself growing. I don't know what else.
Yeah, that's good. And I mean, I was so excited when you said that, he gave you that thumbs up and someone had already posted a picture. And I think sometimes when we don't see those initial things kind of take off, we start to question, should we? No, because guess what? Those people that didn't follow, you were never called to get them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
People, they all won't be the people that we're aligned to help. And right. I can tell myself this, I show up every day. I don't care if one person watching 5,000, I don't care.
That's a great attitude.
I am here to connect with who I'm supposed to. Mm-hmm. And I have to answer if I'm not in place. It's not even about them, really. I have to be accountable for being in place to do what I know that I'm supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. And that's all you stay committed to doing. And that's just period. So, I mean, it's never really about that. And I'll go for a while to get a little bit quiet. And then right after the quiet spell, and I'm starting to almost get back to the questioning phase, I get the biggest confirmation. I get the biggest confirmation from people. I get the biggest thing happening. And I was like, what if I would have stopped? Would have never got to this point, Miss Tami. So, I mean, I had to give you that because I really, really think you have something special in that. It's that ageless thing. It's a good place to be in this day and time where everything is so instant, everything is so microwave, everything is so quote unquote picture perfect. Nobody's talking about the losses. Nobody's talking about the tireless nights. Nobody's talking about all the pain and suffering. Everything is perfect out the microwave, and bam, here's the product.
Oh, yes. And ageless came from the heart to want to help. After what I've been through, I'm like, I want to help women.
Yeah, absolutely. And you should very well mark the calling of doing that. Now, Ms. Tami, we have not gotten to the place where you told people how to contact you, whether that's the email, whether there's social media, whatever you want to drop for contact details. Make sure you do that now.
Okay, you can contact me at agelesssoultribe.com home. That's my website, agelesssoultribe.com home. HTTPS, agelesssoultribe.com home. You can find me on Facebook, Tami Anne Strochak, or you can find me on Facebook, Ageless. So try to contact me there and we can move forward together. And that's how you can contact me.
Absolutely. Love it. Now, I know you don't believe this, but we've come to our 30-minute set. And a lot of people don't believe that. I told you it's like having a conversation. That's just what we're going to do. This is the part of the show we cue to you for final thoughts. I give my guests the opportunity to give us some good parting words for this space and really something that captures the essence of Tami. It's over to you for final thoughts.
Okay. So remember, aging is not a number. We are all ageless. And if you are suffering from trauma from your past, or you're just feeling low, or you need some help, your energy, I can help you with that. I can put your energy, put it back into you from the quantum field. We can work together agelessly. Remember, you are not alone. I am here for you. So contact me. And we are all ageless.
We are all ageless, Miss Tami. I'm going to be ending my recording day on a high note by feeding off your positive energy that you have dropped here. So I'm so grateful. I don't know when you guys will see this, but today is my Friday when I'm recording this, and I am so happy. And you guys know I always tell you guys the truth. I always pray for deposits. And Miss Tami has been the person today. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I've interviewed 8 people today. And Miss Tami is number 8. And Miss Tami has proven to give me the deposits that I've asked for today. So I don't
thank
take that
you.
lightly. I'm so thankful to have you here, and to everyone here that's in the Her Voice Shines podcast land. You know, I'm another amazing woman. I always tell you, let your voice shine, because miraculous things happen when you do. And I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Until next time, I'll see you.